Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om. 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 Parthaya Pratibodhitam Narayanena Swayam Sena Gratitam Purana Munina Bharatam Varshinim Bhagavatim Dhyayinim Ami Bhagavad Gita Namostu Te Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Hidayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Purna Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradeep Panna Parijataya Anaye Jnanam Gitamrita Duhe Namaha Sarvo Dogdha Gopalanandan Sasudhir Bhokta Mahat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bhishmadrona Tata Jayadrata Jalagan Shalyagraha Varena Velakula Ashwathama Vikar Yodhanavartini Sottirna Kalupanda Vartakah Keshava Sarojamavalam Gitartha Gandhotkhat Nakakesaram Harikatha Itam Loke Sajjana Shatpadairaharaha Bhuyad Bhar Pradhvamsina Shreyase Mukam Karo Gum Langayate Girim Vande Paramanand Brahma Varunendra Rudra Divyaistavaihi Kramopanishadair Gayanti Yam Samaga Astita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoga Navidustura Suragana Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Bhagavad Gita after several months. We started studying the 14th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Vibhaga Yoga. There was the 13th chapter which was Vibhaga Yoga. That is the universe, and Kshetrajna around me, so that makes me a. So without the knower over there, so therefore the beginning is from. We must all start from our own selves and then proceed. What we do generally is the outside world, right? We are more concerned about people think about me, what other people think about me, etc. Myself. Do I think of myself as useless or endowed with all the divine qualities? So that is the Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. abundantly that everything ultimately has sprung from Brahma, the knower of the universe being the divine, and from him the whole universe has. So we need to go back to the source. That is the idea. It is good to know about the external, but we should not get stuck to the external world only. Delve into the inner heart of there are treasures within ourselves. Roop Shagore Amar Mon Tolatol Khujile Pabi, says Ram Prasad, the great do. Try float on the surface, you won't find the gems, but you dive deep within your own. Have to do is to and get some time for dive deep within ourselves. Source of all joy and happiness, indeed, the real source. Unfortunately, we are trying to find it elsewhere outside. Not the correct is trying to explain to us. In this 14th chapter is progressing his thought about the internal world, give us some hints about we feel about things. And he says the three guna come under the control of the three guna. Guna means rope, a rope that binds, which keeps on binding a guna or a rope. So the purpose of this upakrama, that means the of this chapter as well as the last verse of this chapter, it is samhara. That's how the scripture sense of the whole chapter you can few verses, and as well as chapter will be at the end of the chapter. This is the scriptures. So in this with param bhuyaha, I will again shyami jnananam jnanam. Told you what needs to be told, but yet it's because of our murkhata, that means our try not to understand things, even though it is just cannot find it, unfortunately. So Sri Krishna is Jagat Guru, he is Krishna. That we bow down to Sri Guru of the whole universe. Therefore, a Guru's you understand, make the disciple understand to give. He has crystal clear. Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, look here, I have said, I am again telling you. Jnanam uttamam, I am telling the greatest, the highest, most exalted of all. Yet jnatva, what happens to you? Ask question when somebody, what is the use of that to me? So therefore he said, yag dim itogataha munay. Means they have achieved to the highest, passed out from this state of bondage. This bondage has to be removed, and then in the same way, this he says, that's why yes sarve param siddhimito gataha. And in the last, Sri Krishna says, Bhuta Prakriti Mokshan Te Gataha. That means be freed from the limitation. Prakriti is the universe, the life. That means this is the nature which has been born. Bhuta means that which has been born. The ignorance has within us, and then off with it. One is to get rid of it. The got rid, it should die. Prakriti mokshancha ye viduhu dhyanti te gataha. So they will go away. This place, once you get this knowledge, you will be and then you will fly away. So this chapter, Sri Krishna as the teacher through his example. In the gist of the chapter I am reading out, knowledge of Brahman in all. Brahman is, and it enables everyone, irrespective of whether you are born in a high caste, whether you are knowledgeable, you will knowledge. That is to say, once you start, that is being given by the Lord, and slowly and slowly, the source of where knowledge start flowering, so then you will be able to realize. Sri Ramakrishna had many disciples. Sri Ramakrishna had Swami Vivekananda, knowledgeable person, extraordinary. He also had Bhutananda, who could not even and Sri Ramakrishna tried to alphabets. He could not learn it. He was working as an attendant at Datta's house, but him there was this intense desire to become free. That is the important. Acharya calls it as mumukshutva, to be free. So whether you are born as Latu, that is, the knowledge will shine upon everyone. And Sri Krishna also says, Pita, that means I am the Father, and therefore disease called rebirth that to. Then when one feels life or death, one is concerns. It means attachment will be able to move you at all. Yes, very affectionate to everyone, but within yourself you are free from all and go through this chapter. probably go through it a little faster because we have in this chapter. Param bhuyah mananam jnanamuttamam yajñātvā mam siddhimito gataha. I shall now explain that knowledge relating to the most exalted of all, by gaining which all say state of bondage into the highest. So all the past, all the great sadhakas of the past, this path, this knowledge, since they have achieved that, as I said to you earlier, who was as rearing the sheep, shepherd boy, and then he came utensils, cleaning, mopping, etc. That's the job. Not know anything else at all. He never could read a book. He never write at all. Yeah, miss thumbprint, the thumbprint. So, but yet, so full of this Advaita. It is not the personal property of any personal property of Atmas and all that. No. Everyone has that right to get this. Saying, I am telling you, you also can become free if you what this life is. The very basics of life. You don't have any more attachment to your life, naturally. So, I have given you instructions before also the same thing and expressions to impress upon his. So in the second verse, which verse of importance here, Pasritya mama sadharmyam agataha sa pralaye na vyathanti cha. Having obtained this knowledge, me, that means those sages and saints or those with me. And then what the one more important word is vyathanti cha, to the merging. That means when things happen to us, to happen, then what happens? What will happen? They are not sad. They are not. That is the nature of this freedom. See, the knower of a non-knower of God lies of the divine knows is just a drama. It is just a drama. Every time, yes, during the drama you cry, etc. But you that the in that drama. So, but some of us do get. But that should not be it. That is one who does not get. When we understand this play of the divine, we will not anxiety, etc. Cheta kevalo nirgunascha, you become the that are happening. You just stand there in one corner and let the things happen. So, before being nature, the way as it were. And Avadhuta, who had 24 gurus, he had many more gurus, was a kite. Chill in Bengali they call it. The bird. So this kite had caught the river and caught the fish. It wanted to go to its nest and have the meal. Caught it and was flying. That there are hundreds of crows are following her. Of crows are following her. And she said, why are they following me? Why can't they go their way? I don't understand. So it went towards the south, followed her to the south. It went to the north, it followed the north. And they were coming near. At last, the kite, that it is this fish that I have kept. That is the cause of all the. It gave up the fish. All the crows went away. They went after the fish and not. Similarly, we, nature, if we are like the intelligent, we throw it away before they pieces. Otherwise, the crows kite into pieces. So they become free. They become free. That is the idea. Nirmahat Brahma Yaham Sambhavas Sarva Bhutanam Tato. Like a womb to me, I deposit therein the germ of creation, out of which everything comes into being. I am in Brahman. I sow the seed of Brahman by broadcasting it in meaning that can be given. The knowledge of Brahman is, you have to just look for it. It is in the adult, it is in every being that Brahman is existing. That is the idea. Try and retrieve that knowledge that everything at nature. That's why when a realized soul sees full forms of nature, the beautiful skies, the sun, etc., to a divine realm, that he is one with all of them. I am in the moon, I am in the sun, I am in the stars, I am joy to feel my presence everywhere. That is the idea I is trying to mention over here in this verse, the third verse. Then the fourth verse, Sarva yonishu kaunte avantiyaha tas pita. O son of Kunti, all creatures, might be the womb from which they are born, have realized the womb. The womb. We all come and we go back into Prakriti. So slowly he is of what this Prakriti, what this nature is. I am their father, the bestower of seed. It's Mata and Pita. They are very ancient cultures. Our Indian culture, Hindu culture. Beings, no doubt. Gods, humans, animals, etc. All of them have other in one only, that he himself has become the Father. He himself has. So he sends this message, spring forth from the Aham Bija Prada Pita. I am so the seeds of all the universe, the whole universe. Unnecessarily we create friction in this world, saying black and so on and so forth. We are, our real nature is that we are from that same Father. This undoubtedly they all talk about it, but yet they are the only recipients of that divine. They are the only children of that Satan. That's what some people say, but that is very disappointing indeed. So that is why our yogis, that sarve bhavantu sukhinas sarve santu nirashyantu ma kaschit dukha. Let there be no harm to anybody, discomfort to any of the way that, because they had not just say it as a poetic knowledge, realization that they had, and with that realization, that let every one being be, not just Hindus, not of our own culture or our own, everyone, some sarve, because in that sarva, that means in the seed of oneness. We are all, for everything that we see, encounter is one, whether birds or any other, one Father. Universal brotherhood that Sri Krishna, Vayonishu Kaunteya Yaha Mutta. All these beings are from me, and I am the one who everyone. Now, what is this Prakriti? What is this Prakriti that about? What is it made of? Of this Prakriti. Happy at times. Why we feel so sad at times? We feel very so all of these are the questions that arise that matter. Therefore, the whole Prakriti is gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. So that's what he says. Sattvam Prakriti sambhava nibha dehe dehinam avyayam. Sattva, rajas and tamas. The Prakriti is made of these three, and the whole universe in it. Anything that you take has got sattva, rajas. They bind down the in its embodied sharira, or the subtle body is bound down, and rajas and tam is, how does it act upon us? Tatra sattvam prakashakamanāmayam sukha sangena badnāti chanaka malatvat. Among these and harmonious during its essential purity, it binds with the feeling, I am happy, I am full of Tvat. Nirmala means transparent, and it is luminous. That means it reveals everything. No haze or there. And Sri Ram, you take, in those days there was the lamp lanterns. In the lantern, if it is filled with, the shine will not feel the objects outside. If it is very dirty, clean it. Nirmala means one has to make clean. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat. And it light. It does not hide the light. And then he says, anamayam, stainless. There is no stain. Anjana also sticks to something. So Niranjana, that which has not stuck, dirt has not stuck. The dirt of ignorance is totally wiped out, or in such persons. Once you possess this, what experience is bhajan, as opposite to Vishayananda. Bhajan, what is bhajan? Is the joy of chanting. See, not many people are happy, feel very joyous when they chant, because their inner sat dirtied. It is the name of God does not in them. But Vishayananda, that means if they feel extremely happy. Same when they are asked to sing for some time, but not all the time. If you are asked to do, for example, for 1 hour at least, for 1 hour, because your inner mind, if you ask me to watch, because there is so much of in the object, but a sattvic person is one who will the soul in the name of the Lord especially. So that is very important. Bhajanananda in our life. Think of the name of the Lord, repeated without letter or anything. Let the name of the Lord go on and on, slow to the realization, or one will start feeling the joy. And tribulations outside, there may be distractions outside, but yet a happiness that is called as bhajana. The name of the Lord is chanted, one would like to sit and listen. It's not like Shanandaji, who was in Portland, and say, if you want not have television, if you want God vision, you cannot have. This is the Vishayananda and God vision. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakti. So one needs sattva within one. Krishna is trying, feeling I am happy. One more thing. One should also give an auto. I am happy, I am full of knowledge. This feeling, see, most of the time we are very much attached to feelings. This is very important for us to note. Much attached to, if you observe your whole day, you will see somewhere to me because I give so much of importance, whereas I do not give that much of importance to the name of the divine or to some wonderful. That does not give me so much of, it. Whereas the thought, I am suffering, that is constantly within us of this life. So Sri Krishna is saying, Sukha Sangena Baddhat, and the translator written here. So one should have that feeling, I am happy. That kind of suggestion must be constant. I am miserable, I am no good, and so on and so forth. Instead of that, happy, I am full of the divine, I shall become better and better. That kind of, if we want sattva guna. See, sometimes we think by going to holy places, company of holy people, full of joy, and we will become less. That is true for some extent, but it is not really wholesome. You are carrying the mind which is being carried over to the place of pilgrimage, it is being carried to the ashram, right? So, carrying that over there, first let me start thinking of myself as a child of the divine. All those negative thoughts that come to me, sattva in me awakens. And then when I go to a holy place, when I will be able to absorb completely. Otherwise, I will go there for a few days, and after some time, I will start over there also. So many of our people are places of pilgrimage, and they come and say, It's very dirty over there. That means you are only looking at the dirty. You are not looking at the divinity that is over there, the divine feelings that are there. There are people who are crowding over there and chanting the name of the Lord God. We don't think about it, but or we are looking into the. So that is very important. This positive attitude within yourself. I am happy. This must be developed again. You have to have this as a constant sadhana. All the time we have to. The same person who thinks of everything as dirty and all sattva is developed, his place is full of the vibe of the divine vibrations, immersed in that vibe. In India especially, in not only cultures, people would not do a place of pilgrimage, have fulfilled their duties in their life. So, because then they don't have to have any worry about it. Go to the place of pilgrimage and will be able to absorb the vibration. That. So you need a place of worship. One needs preparation. You must be clean. Same way, your mind also must be clean when you go over there. That is very important. One, Sri Krishna says, Rajaha, about the Rajas. Rajo Trishna Sanga Samudbhavam Tan Nibhadnati Sangena Dehinam. Passion based. Passion based and productive unattained objects, something that I have not attained, and so forth. That is the attachment for those in one's possession, trying to on what I already possess. That is also a character. It also binds the soul. Angling it in action. I am the doer. I am the doer. Today's God is the doer, owner of everything. Nothing belongs to me. Ultimately, God is the owner of everything. Trishna Sangha. Joragatmakam vidhi Trishna Sangha. Tanha. Buddha called it as Tanha. And he used to say that this desire, the thirst is that which binds life. If there is no thirst for life, we will not be living. Krishna Sangha Samudbhavam. But it cannot be also. If I satisfy one desire, another will come and sit in its place. Tarangayante says, it may come as a small, it grows into larger and larger and larger waves. One desire will lead you to the other. That's why Sri Ramakrishna you will find, I have given up all the desires, but little desires to keep me this body. So eat a sweet, drink this food, and I will eat this kind of a food. Put in front of him, He would not care for it at all. It's just that he expressed his mind, the body, that's all. Rajo tarangayate api. The sangha or the bondage is talking about. Then in the next about ajnana, tamas. Tamas tvajnanajam vidhi pramada badnati bharata. Tamas, it is ignorance born and is productive of. It binds the soul. Disposition characterized by negligence, indolence, sleepiness. Quality which hides the reality from ourselves. Nature, because of is born out of ajnana. That means not knowing. Jnana is knowing God. Knowing reality is jnana. Knowing the reality. But ajnana is not knowing the knowledge of the reality. That is all it is. So, got rid of. Whenever we see this is deluded, when one is, when is predominance of tamas in that person's character. Talking about these three particular this tamas in humans. What is it? The first one is pramada. Nowadays, that is non-alertness. Non-alertness. Very important. So, tell his disciples, sadhu sabdhan, be careful, be careful, be careful. Be alert. That is to say, a sannyasi, here he means any person who is a follower of the path of knowledge is called a sadhu over there. He says, be very aware, be alert, be alert. Sri Ramakrishna's life, Swami Vivekananda, this knowledge of alertness, this characteristics of alert to everything that happens around. In fact, sometimes he would be samadhi, observed in and then when the time, when he would come down and then when he had to leave, he would go, but he was very much aware of. Sometimes we read in his youngsters like Rakhal to live with Sri Ram, forgetful, because they were not, they careless, very careless. So, shoes and everything, and we would say, no, this won't do. You have to be very alert. You need to take things when you open a door, you need to close. If you switch on a light, you need things which matter. I mean, but all of these things matter in developing. Come and sit with you. If you then tamas will come, and that is what it is. And pramada is another definition of things when it has to be accomplished, when it has ajik kar, aaj kar so ab, is saying that try to do it today. And whatever you need to do now. Very powerful. Pramada is doing things when it has to be done. Place it must be done. Then he says, that is laziness, just being very lazy, not doing anything. Happen. God has given a body to us, made use of in order to give back. Constantly the sun is shedding, constantly the wind is blowing. All of them are doing their duty. We not do something daily. See, we must also be useful for the others, not for the others. That is lack of alasya, lack of laziness. Hurt oneself physically also, for the body also. One must physically. And then nidra. Nidra is you must sleep as much as, but lazying and lazing and then all the time as some no good. Sometimes I say to people who sleep during the day and I said you are all from the lineage of the Rakshasas. Rakshasas are those beings like keep awake during the night and then during the day they will sleep. So nidrabhi, these are that which, and the another is this tamas makes dark, it makes one's own intellect dull. See, a light of cloth or even paper, then what we are doing is we are not allowing. So tamas is that, and you keep on, so to say, to pile more gloom. There is already gloom and then you pile more and more. There is darkness everywhere. Bharata, we need to conquer these, and the bondage of the tamas, ultimately sattva, rajas and tamas, all of them are that which bind, but you need to graduate from tamas to sattva. That is the idea. We will study it further, verse onwards. Study this subject. Akaram bhujagashayanam vishwadharam gaganasadrisham meghavarnam kantam kamalanayanam yogiridhyanagamyam yaharam sarvalokaikana shanti shanti hari om tat sat.